Oh, hi. Yeah. Hi. Good morning, everyone. It's
Good
time
morning.
for the Business Building Book Club. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The best thing to do on a Thursday morning, let's be honest. I'm
Yes.
your host, Molly from Visibility Hacking Studios. We have with us our favorite librarians. Let's call you guys librarians. Why not?
Dig it. I dig it.
We have Lefty the Video
Nerds.
Jedi and Mark Douglas the Mental Marketer. You are in good hands, my friends. Whether you're watching for the very first time or you are a book club regular, oh, we should make like library cards for everyone. That would be great. Welcome, one and all. This week or this month, we have been diving into Wired for Story by
Mhm.
Lisa Cron, which is a
Uh-huh.
book written for writing books. It's very out of our element as marketers and entrepreneurs, but well, every chapter we read is so intimately connected to the stories we tell that sell our products, that
Yeah.
move our potential customers from a state of indecision to a state of going, heck yeah, I want in with whatever you're putting down. Because this book helps us tie in not only to the tricks and the tools of writing great story, but each of them is tied to a cognitive effect. Why is that story impactful? Well, it's because of what's happening in our brain. And so we get to learn these two really cool tips every chapter. And today we're wrapping up the book. It's been so good.
Oh
It's been so
no.
good.
All good things must come to an end.
But the
Oh my
greatest
gosh.
thing is y'all can watch the replays of all of our episodes. All you have to do is scan the QR code below Mark there. It'll bring you to our YouTube playlist with all of the episodes. So if you want to rewatch Wired for Story, go do it. If you want to rewatch I don't have the other ones behind me, but if you want to watch any of the other episodes for every book we've ever done, go check that out. We would love to see you there. Oh yes, Mark's got us or Mark's got the audio book.
Oh
He's on it
yes.
always,
Oh,
always.
oh yeah. Combination listening and reading at the same time. I got that tip from none other than the guy who threw one of the biggest book launches this past weekend. He's yeah. That was one of his recommendations from his first book, 100 million offers. You have that book? Is that
I
book
sure
on our
do.
list?
It is on our list for later this year, actually.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay,
But I
Should we do
think
a should we do a back to back?
I was
Because
gonna say I think we should do it back to back.
and there's a good possibility that I might have extra copies of his new book coming
oh,
because I ended
you
up
do?
getting a pack because I
Oh, you do?
support that way.
Oh, support. Isn't that a great word?
I love it.
Molly, you didn't get a copy?
No, I've been
Oh,
busy.
okay. Well, I'll get it. I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you.
I love books. I love reading. We've been discussing some of the books that we're going to read later on this year, and even putting together the list of books we're going to dive into next year. So, you guys better watch out. There's going to be some big things happening.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, my friends. So, let's see who is joining us today. Ooh,
Hey, Sharon.
Sharon says, pick
What's
me,
up?
Oh boy.
Lefty.
Hey, Shaz. What's
There's
up?
gonna be like a bidding war here for these for $100 million leads.
That's how you
Shaz,
get the Hermosi leads.
Shaz
The
says,
Hermosi style leads.
well,
Oh,
well, if you haven't already, if you're one of the maybe the rare few people that didn't know about that launch this past weekend or hadn't heard about it, but that the audio book is free. He
oh,
put out, I think at the end of the presentation, I think the big surprise was basically he gave away a lot of things free.
Yeah.
A lot of things free. And I actually happened to pick up I went to the podcast. That's where he has it at. picked up, went to the podcast and I listened to it, and I was like, this is darn good. This is really good.
I'm waiting for the book. I'm waiting for the book. I did not go audio at all because I'm going to pull an Elon Musk move the way he did with the Cybertruck. I'm going to let everybody scramble to get in on their lead magnets and all that. And then I'm going to come in for the kill afterwards.
Yeah. If you happen to head to his podcast,
Nice.
it has the full audiobook. Man, I tell you, it's interesting listening to his audiobook because, and just my opinion, as if, we all have opinions, right? It reminds me of an Expert Secrets.
Ooh, nice.
And I think underneath Expert Secrets is really a book about selling. And it's a book about selling and how to communicate in that way, in that particular way, and about storytelling. And it's point spot on what we're covering in this book right here. It's Power of Storytelling. His book listens like a novel. It's like a novel that's teaching you. And I just observed his storytelling techniques, and he's hitting on a lot of the topics that we're touching on right here in this book, Wired for Story by Lisa Cron. And it was just, I don't know, I call it a fiction, nonfiction book.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
I'm the type of, self-professed book nerd. However, I find myself wanting to expand more into novels. Typically if I go to, pick out a book, it's going to be about a business book.
Yep.
A business book. I haven't, I don't get into the 50 Shades of Grey. But
Mark, what are you trying to tell us, bud? Draw yourself a bubble bath, put on some candles, and just have 50 Shades.
Hey, there's a lot to learn from those books too.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. I needed a good laugh.
And even the murder mysteries or the books about plots, I want to do a little bit more expanding in those type of books. But I think that just listening to the book on audio, I don't know if it reads that way, but it definitely you hear it that way. He talked about if you have the 100 million offers, he talks about those times when he started off as a gym guy. That's who he was. He was a gym guy. He wasn't this marketing guy that we know today. And he really digs deep into the conflict. Remember how we talk about going to that unavoidable conflict on the way to achieving this external achievement, which was his fitness, becoming that fitness and his outer goal towards reaching $1 million. But simultaneously, he transformed from a fitness guy into this marketing. He's a leader in the space right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's a leader in the space right now. And it's interesting to hear his story and a lot of the components from this book being played out in real life right before our eyes.
Yeah. I think it was funny seeing we won't talk about that. We'll talk about Wired for Story, but there was a lot that happened at that event. So if you guys haven't seen it, go watch it because it's on his YouTube channel. You can just literally watch it. And another thing too that I'm noticing that he's also bringing into the into the world of videos and whatnot is that he now started a, I guess, reality TV style show called the Harmosies. So I mean, it's him, and like it goes to show that like business is one thing, but like storytelling is the most powerful thing ever. And like they're just doing it really great. They're doing it really great.
Yeah. When you tell a story and you capture the attention, people will pay for that attention.
Yeah.
I think that's when you can command. It's like a television series.
Yeah.
It's like a television series. You capture the attention of an audience that watches, then you have people coming to you wanting to, hey, can I show up in your episode? It's the way that a lot of companies have grown. I'll give you an example. I was reading about what is known today as product placement, whereas as before, product placement was, here's my cup. Look, I'm sipping out of this cup, and what you're looking and you're saying, oh shoot, there's a 50. This is Spurs. Congratulations to the Spurs. I'm not a Spurs fan.
But you love their cups.
Yeah. I have a friend that works there, so
nice.
I get hooked up with the drinks there.
Nice.
So, but now the product placement is in mentioning words. An example is the popular home searching place Zillow.
Yeah.
Zillow paid for these product placements inside of the show. And I watched one episode of I don't know, it was some HBO show, and they were just having a casual conversation in the car, and the driver said, so did you find a place? No, I haven't found anything. Well, did you check Zillow? Oh, I looked at Zillow, and it's just like, boom, right there.
Yeah.
Right there in the midst of a normal conversation that two people are having, you get your product name. You get your name mentioned right there, Lefty. Yeah. I went to Lefty, and the show already has an audience, and now you've just been exposed to a huge audience just that quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Speaking of that, Lefty, I got a link here. You got a cash register?
What?
You got a cash register sound there? Because I'm gonna we were talking about, okay, we're gonna talk about the book, right? Okay.
No. We gotta tell them. So we have been working diligently to get Lefty to Funnel Hacking Live. We know we have been on this for months now, right? So clearly, y'all who need a video sales letter, which is all of you, go over to get Lefty to FHL.com, obviously. But you got to hurry up, because you better beat Mark, because he's about to log in right about now to fire over his and secure his spot with Lefty.
Absolutely. We'll be meeting there at Funnel Hacking Live and putting together a VSL for my thing is I want to put a VSL together for my offer there, and it's a migration offer. Cool. over to ClickFunnels 2.0. We're still helping people to migrate from the older software to the newer software, and it's been exciting. Brand new users to ClickFunnels 2.0, as well as people that have been using the classic version for a while, are noticing the amazing upgrades and how much simpler it is to navigate and easy to build these pages with a lot more just flexibility, timers in your email marketing. Of course, I can't wait for this affiliate space to come out, where you can actually run an affiliate program and get people to promote you and give them a percentage of sales, which I'm going directly on to Lefty's page here. I got my
Don't drop it. You need it.
And don't show it in case of screenshots.
But Mark, I need your expertise.
know, right?
We got a powwow at Funnel Hacking Live because I need out of the old ClickFunnels and into the new.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things happening with this VSL offer, guys. I'm actually putting out a very it's a very heartfelt message that I'm going to be sharing with all of you tomorrow on my YouTube channel. My videos drop every other Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. There is going to be a premiere set for it. So in case you're wondering, oh my God, where am I going to see it? Just go to Create with Lefty on YouTube and it'll be there. Hit the notification bell on that. I got a lot of new upcoming things, and I have a lot of future plans that may or may not include or not include certain things. So yeah, you guys definitely want to watch that for sure.
All right. And for those out there, look at that. That's the pay button right there.
Ooh, cha-ching!
So if you're out there and you're wondering if if people really make money online, we do. We use this computer in front of us to collect cash on a daily basis. It's like our own cash register. Ring it up.
That's it. Ring, ring, cha-ching.
Oh, I love it. All right, guys, let's get back into the book. We're wrapping it up this week. So we have 3 final chapters. We're going to jump past a chapter or 2 so that we can get through this book because it is so good. If you want to get the chapters that we missed, make sure you pick up your own copy of Wired for Story. But let's open up to page 185, class, where we're going to start on the top of page 10 or chapter 10. This is the road from setup to payoff. Y'all know me. I like a good structure. I need a path. I need a roadmap. I need direction. So we have our cognitive secret, which is since the brain abhors randomness, it's always converting raw data into meaningful patterns. We talked about this last week. The better to anticipate what might happen next. We're making all of the things we see, all of the random happenings we see in our lives, our brains are trying to make sense of. Our brains are trying to find patterns so that they can more easily recognize those patterns using less brain energy. We want to spend our brain energy figuring out the random, and we do that by simplifying and finding patterns. So how does that impact our story? Well, our story secret is that readers are always on the lookout for patterns.
Yeah.
To your reader, everything is either a setup, a payoff, or the road in between. And that's powerful. That's powerful. It's not about filling your book with or filling your story with random details. We've learned this chapter by chapter by chapter. Everything we put into our story, every part of that story matters. It brings us along from start to finish, through the transformations that our people are going through. So what did you guys think about this one? Do you guys like patterns, or are you guys random fans?
It depends. It depends on like what I'm gonna be reading, or well, actually, you know what? No, I lied. Okay, because I am Mr. Random. Okay, when everybody has like a posting schedule and they have what they're gonna post and when they're gonna do it. I just give it when I feel like it, and I speak from the top of my head, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense with yesterday's post, or like, that's how I operate. That's how I do things. I don't know. Maybe people enjoy it. Maybe people don't. I don't know. I feel like they do, because like my engagement is still pretty decent. And I just feel like I've always been like a spur of the moment type of person, where it's like, I think of something, that's how I want to get it out. Same with my YouTube videos. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, I'm just going to do this idea this week. I don't have like a book somewhere with like all the videos I'm going to do for the next 3 months. Like that's not how I plan anything. I literally do things week to week. So yeah, I feel I know Molly's having a little bit of like, oh my god, she's having lefty anxiety.
I'm literally planning December at the moment.
Yeah, she's having lefty anxiety. Like, how do you operate like this?
I know.
But I just feel like I do it that way because it's like you get something from me that I feel at that exact moment. So I feel like when I am random and I am just spitballing off the top of my head, it's like you're getting the most true and authentic lefty that I can be, because that is how I feel at that exact moment.
Yeah. Nice. I was having a discussion about strategy and tactics.
Yeah.
You know, strategy, the overall strategy, that's your planning, really.
Yeah.
That's your planning stage. And I do sit down for those strategic sessions. And then then you have your tactics, which are the execution points, the to-do list every day. And I'm trying to get better at it. I'm definitely not perfect, especially I have to be honest. The busier I get, the worse I get. I feel like sometimes the busier I get, the more I need to be able to stay on track, even though things might get hectic around me. Something that I could have, that I could improve in. What's that, Lefty?
Right here. I think this is the only rule that I follow, which is rule number 1. What page? 195.
Oh, I'm looking at the exact one.
There must be an actual road. That's it. That's the only thing I follow. Do I have a road? Do I know where I'm going to lead people? Absolutely. Do I know how I'm going to lead them there? I have no effing clue. But I know that I do have, like, I see the vision at the end of the tunnel. I know what the finish line is, whether that's get Lefty to FHL, or if I'm working on something brand new, or if I want somebody to watch something of mine. I know what the end has to offer, but how I get there, I can do this. As long as I'm there at the end, I'm happy.
Well, that brings me to the paragraph right below that, which is rule number 2. The reader must be able to see the road unfold. So as you're going on your winding journey, as long as you're staying on the road, which basically means you're keeping a coherent sentence, you're keeping a coherent stream of thought as you're winding around.
Yeah,
you're still following that same path. And I find that a lot of people forget that when they're just winging it. And I'm not saying just winging it is a great thing or a bad thing. It is what it is. But as long as you know where you're starting, what you want to talk about, why it's important, why people need to hear it, and how it will transform their lives in the end, as long as you keep those main bullet points in your head, I think that helps your audience see the road unfold in front of you, rather than being distracted by all of the funny side stories, tangents, and unnecessary details. But then rule number 3 here is the intended payoff must not be patently impossible. So that is, I think that doesn't necessarily resonate with all of the content that we put out. But I think we could do better. What do you guys think?
Well, you say you say two important words, and those
Yep.
two important words are your audience, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
remember, these people are following you, not the other way around. So you need to train them to, if you're a sporadic poster, they're gonna know that your posting schedule is sporadic, and you're gonna train them to like that kind of style content from you, because if it's your audience will stick around. If your audience has been, because you mold them, you train them, they don't train you. So I think number one, like with also what Molly said was, it's neither good or bad, like there's no wrong or right way of doing things, but I think it stems down from the initial training of your audience, right?
Yeah.
If you train them a certain way, they're gonna say, yo, Lefty's giving me a video bi-weekly. I love that. He's not like over blowing my brain or anything like that. I can watch him at a good pace. But the moment I turn around and say, I want to up the ante, let's go back to once a week, and then let's go back to once a day, I might lose the people that initially fell in love with me, because they're like, whoa, this is too much. I don't want to deal with this. So you just train the audience how you want them, how whatever makes sense for you. And believe me, they will follow you however you put them, you know?
Yeah. You know, to piggyback off of what you said, Lefty, a point to make is that you can't expect, if you're just starting out in this online marketing. You know, I have people reach out to me, Mark, I'm thinking about going into affiliate marketing. What's the best advice you can give me? I know I can be successful because I see a lot of people out there being successful. That is true. But let me tell you out there, and I know you might be listening to me. If you are listening to me, just know that you can't just turn it on like a faucet. You have to train your audience. You can't one day expect to start posting and seeing thousands of comments or thousands of likes, or for the algorithm to distribute your content to everybody on your feed. I want to throw a shout out there to Tracy. She's been crushing it on her TikTok. She made some really I'm so proud of her. She made some really, the algorithm caught her. The algorithm got hold of some of her content, and it's pushing it out there. And now she's just gaining followers by the hundreds. That's awesome. After posting and getting no engagement for like close to 3 months. So she has trained that audience like you talked about. And now she has that road that others see. Her specialty is it's a unique niche for parents of IEP students. If you've even heard of that before. Yeah, IEP. It's like a special
individualized educational plan.
Yes. Yes. And she's becoming a leader in the space, but it doesn't happen overnight. It happens because she started, and then she continued, and then continued, but it's not going to happen. You're going to see people online that are going to tell you, I sent out an email and look how much I made.
Yeah.
I don't know. People aren't going to buy from you right away without knowing you. People aren't going to buy just by.
I hate those posts. Like I don't care how much you or your client made. Like, stop it. Like, nobody cares. Like, they just care about the work. They don't care to see like the bank account. Like, and I feel like that's all that I feel like that's selling a false hope, because just because one person and you had maybe one or two clients maybe make X amount of dollars, everybody's different. That doesn't necessarily mean your third client is going to reach that number, right? They might have a different form of success. So it's like when I see those things where it's like, oh, my client just made $90,000 in 30 days. It's like, that's your selling tactic, bro, you're literally just like, I feel like that's a very crummy way of like selling something, because not everybody, because when that person doesn't hit the 90K in 30 days, they're going to feel very terrible about themselves.
Yeah. Sad to say, it's the reason they're making $90,000 in that fast is because they're selling you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They're the client, really.
Yeah.
They're the client.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
funny.
let's drive forward a little bit, because
All right.
today we got 3 chapters we have to cover.
Yes.
So let's get to chapter 11. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Oh, I think
Yeah. Tell us the cognitive secret.
So our cognitive secret here is the brain summons past memories to evaluate what's happening in the moment in order to make sense of it. So again, remember, our brain is taking those random things that it sees or hears, all those random sensory inputs, and it's looking for patterns. And those patterns can go way back. Meanwhile, at the ranch, like, we can have memories, or we can find patterns that bring up that feeling of deja vu, right? From way back before. We can be a pattern that goes, I was recently in the drive-through, and my favorite cheeseburger came out. And it's a Wendy's burger. A bacon mushroom melts, right? That used to be a regular menu item when I was a kid, and that was my favorite thing to eat. And so when it gets re-released as a limited edition special treat, it brings back patterns. It brings back the like, oh, Friday night, got to go get my Wendy's burger. It brings back different patterns. So what's happening so that's our cognitive secret. How does this apply to story? Well, foreshadowing, flashbacks, and subplots must instantly give readers insight into what's happening in the main storyline, even if the meaning shifts as the story unfolds. So this is really cool, because when we are telling stories of transformation, right, we always talk about the hero's 2 journeys. These are part of the core stories that we should be telling. How we transformed when we went from a place of being in a pain point, having a stumbling block, having a challenge in front of us, to the transformations that we get once we move through those, or over those, or around those blocks and challenges. So being able to bring back foreshadowing and past memories and insights. I am not talking woo-woo here. I am not saying, I want you to center in with your previous lifetimes. None of that. I seriously mean, when you are telling a story of transformation. So for example, how I made my first $1 million online. That's super catchy, right? Looking back and having insights to say, yeah, when I was stuck in that pain point, this is what I was telling myself. Having those ability to go back and say, back in that moment, put my feet back into that moment and say, yeah, this is what was going on. This is what I was thinking. Or in a positive light, thinking back to, yeah, all of this stuff was happening in my life, but I just went back to that original Hermosi podcast where he said X, Y, and Z. And then that is the message that kept me going, right? Being able to tie past to present, always making sure that it's helping elucidate the main points, the main storyline that you're telling, or the main piece of content that you're putting out there.
And right here on page 204, it literally reminded me of Gary V, because jab, 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 right hook.
Yeah.
Quick, slow. How to measure the pace of your story, because everybody just wants to blah, 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 and just get out all the information. But it's like, you have to know when to say things quickly and get right to the point, and then and then you have to give context and maybe slow things down a little bit, and just you got to let people like indulge in the moment of your story. If it goes by too fast, they're not, they won't get it. They won't understand. They won't, they just, it won't sink in the way that you want them to if you speak so quickly or if you write really quickly. And then that's when people have to go back. Like, I'm not like, rereading sometimes is not always a good thing, you know, like if I have to turn around and go, wait, huh, what did they say, and go back and read, and then wait, hold on, did I, like, that's not good. Like, you want people to reread because they got it the first time, not because they didn't understand it the first time.
There's a beautiful line here. So right under that title, simply stated and eloquently by literary blogger extraordinaire Nathan Bransford, pacing is the length of time between moments of conflict. So when I'm thinking about what Lefty just said, when you pack in so much conflict, it gets jumbled. It gets hard to understand. But when you pick the details that are most important, we know that from previous chapters in this book, when you pick those moments that are most important and you space them out appropriately so that those big conflicts get big space in the story, they get breathing room, and the little conflicts can go by a little bit faster, but not everything needs to be addressed at the exact same beat. Everything needs its own space to breathe, just like we do. Some people like to be close together. Some people like a little bit more space.
And that throws off the reader and keeps them anticipating whether there's okay, we're just going along. Oh. And then
jab, right hook.
Yeah, when Lefty was talking about making sure that you bring your audience along with you, it just what came to my mind is Russell Brunson. What he talks about, and he calls it we get we want to foreshadow, but I know there are some times when I'm listening to stories and I'm completely lost. I'm not the type of person that actually watches a lot of movies, so a lot of times those things will go over my head, and those inside things, like even popular things. So a lot of those things can go over my head. And what Russell Brunson calls it is techno babble.
And I get that. I understand that. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Have you heard him use that word before, Lefty? I know you've heard it, Raleigh.
No, but I like, the thing is, I haven't really ever like truly followed Russell, but it's like I understand what he means when he says that, because I come from like a DJ background playing techno music, right? So it's like when he says that, I understand it in a different context, but then it's funny.
It's don't spew too much jargon.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason why I'm able to create amazing stories, even writing or visual, is because everything in that section, if you're not on the couch, the floor is hot lava. Okay. That's my imagination. You have to stay on the couch or you get burned.
Did you move it around back there?
No, it's right there in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's actually where I shot this tomorrow's video. So that is the journal
from the heart couch.
From the heart couch, the journal couch. The journal couch. That's where it is. Where I just let my brain go. It can be scary, but it's fun.
Cool. We got Lonnie O'Shea Phillips watching. Go ahead and smash that heart button, Lonnie. Mr. O'Shea Phillips.
Yo.
Yeah. O'Shea Phillips is oh my gosh, I've known this guy since I was 18 years old.
Baby Mark.
Talk about baby Mark. We were in Germany together. I know you've spent time over in every time I listen to these recordings over again, and I listen to Molly tell about how she was over here and over there. I'm like, wow, over there too. But it was the llamas and alpacas.
Yes, llamas and alpacas.
But
Llamas, alpacas. Llamas, alpacas. So you tell their faces apart.
yeah, but
What were you doing in Germany?
we were over there riding the Autobahn, going to clubs in Stuttgart, Germany together, riding the trains, just carefree life. We were both early in military, and yeah, we had some good times over there.
Ooh, I'd like to hear about these stories.
I'd like to say, Lonnie O'Shea, you have aged very well, my friend.
Oh, I love it. I
yeah.
love it. So we gotta bounce forward to our final chapter. Because we still got to give you our opinions. We got to preview our next book. We got a lot. So the final chapter in this book is the writer's brain on story, which I think is so important to capstone this beautiful book. So the cognitive secret is it takes long-term conscious effort to hone a skill before the brain assigns it to the cognitive unconscious. So we're talking about patterns, right? Once those patterns go from randomness to recognized patterns, they then literally fall into a deeper place in our brain where they become habits almost. They become unconscious things that we can do. So a great example of this is Russell Brunson. If you look back at his like original videos that he put out, he was the most awkward, bad public speaker. He stumbled, he ummed and awed, he didn't have a story structure. He was just this really awkward kid.
Yes.
And it's because he went, Russell Brunson, he's a wrestler, right? That was his big passion when he was in school. And so he would go to the gym on a regular basis to work out, to get fit, to be a wrestler. He would go to his wrestling coach and he would practice and practice and practice. Again, getting stronger, honing those skills. The same thing happened in his storytelling frameworks. Because he practiced and practiced, he learned new frameworks, he tried them out. He practiced to the point that those patterns, those storytelling patterns, have literally become second nature to him. Yeah. He doesn't have to write them down. He doesn't even need to think about them because he is so practiced in the frameworks and working out that muscle. The same thing applies for all of us. Whether we're writing big novels, whether we're writing The Brand Code coming out soon, whether we are writing a copy for a video sales letter or a short form TikTok video, whatever it is, those frameworks are things that we need to practice. We need to become proficient in them to the point that they are not just random frameworks. They then go into the phase of, these are patterns I recognize. I have to think about them, but I know what all the bullet points are going to be, all the way down to I can tell that story off the top of my head because I know this framework inside and out. All right. Yeah. So the story secret is there's no writing. It's just rewriting. It's just practice, practice, practice. What do you guys think of that one?
Yeah. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah. Selling is storytelling. Selling is storytelling. And you mentioned Russell Brunson. I say that you're great at it too, Molly. I say that you're great at it too, Lefty. I listen. Yeah. And I hear your stories. I don't know how many times you've told them before, but I'm like, wow, your granddad really sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah. Well, you can pick up the book and read the entire chapter on that as well. That could be an interesting thing because there are so many different like entrepreneurs that I got to work on that book with. So it's yeah, it's a good chapter. It's a good chapter. I'm telling you, I might be writing a book, but the documentary's got to come first. Why? Because I'm somebody where it's like, I'm not gonna read Lefty's book. I'm just gonna watch the movie.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. We know we got to flex our story muscles. So my challenge to all of you is to write or to create some sort of piece of content, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a YouTube video, whether you jump on live and just start talking to your communities. What I want you to do is create a piece of content that tells your story of transformation. And I want you to focus on that inner journey just as much as that tangible result at the end. And I want you to tag us all in it. I want you to tag Mark. I want you to tag Lefty. I want you to tag me, because we're here to support you on that journey. And especially those of you who create your piece of content and get that nervousness in your stomach about posting it.
The butterflies.
Those of you, I want you to post it first. I want you to just close your eyes and go for it, because we are here for you. Your story matters. Your message matters. Your movement of people, your change that you want to bring about in the world with your talent is never going to make a difference unless you speak up, unless you start sharing your message. And we are here for it.
Yes. And I think that in reality, you've got that bug inside of you. You've got that feeling, that yearning inside of you.
I don't want a bug.
And it's not going to go away. That feeling, that desire for you to tell your message, or as an entrepreneur to get your business, your product, your service out there, it's not going to go away. But what's going to have to happen is you're just going to have to take that leap to go out there and start telling your story. And the best way is to also be on that journey with someone else, someone that can help you and that can give you those tips when you need it, support, encouragement. That's us. 1, 2, 3, right here. Hashtag us, ampersand us, and
it is.
Listen,
I was gonna say it is very, very lonely at the top. So make sure that you do bring somebody, and also remember this, that it's, we're not in high school anymore. We're not in elementary school anymore. The fact of the matter is, everybody's too busy doing their own thing that they don't actually care about what you're posting and what you're saying, which gives you more than enough time to craft the perfect messaging to make them care. So I had to learn that the hard way, because for me, I came from a world where popularity was everything, and if somebody didn't like me, it was really hard on me. It was very like, oh my God, why doesn't this person like me? I got to do everything I can to make them like me. And then I realized that it's not that they don't like me, they just don't care, because they have their own thing happening. They have their own thing going on. And that is why I allow myself to get slightly offensive in my posts, and I put together and craft these like stories and videos that sometimes people like, sometimes people don't, and it's because they just don't care. And that's the beauty about it. If you have the mentality of people just don't care, you will surprise yourself as to how many more people will start flocking your way.
Heck yeah.
Heck yes. Awesome.
And on that note, it's time to give our ratings. So we have a very simple way of giving ratings for our books. And you are welcome to give us your rating in a photo, drop it into the Visibility Hackers Facebook group. Let us know. 1 of 3. You either love the book, we think it's amazing, it's still relevant. We're like, half and half. It's kind of a little bit, and no, not even worth it at all. So, without further ado, what are our ratings?
Boom.
3 thumbs up
Unanimous
from the Visibility
decision.
Hackers Business Building Book Club. This is definitely a highly recommended read from our team. So definitely check it out and make sure that you guys don't forget, while we read through these books, we also like to reward our most engaged members of our community. So remember, those of you who are engaging in the comments, liking, sharing, all of that fun stuff, those of you who are taking on the challenges, tagging us, you are going to be more likely to win our fantastic prizes. Free books, we got bookmarks, we got reading accessories. I might even throw in some custom-made mugs. Who knows?
You want these magnetic bookmarks?
Mark, they saved my life, dude. Thank you so much for that.
I keep like 3 or 4 of them around.
Yep.
They're
I have
amazing.
a pile right beside me. I love these.
Yeah. Oh man. Shoot, Shaz in the comments, Sharon Jones. Always appreciate your engagement, and always showing support for watching us on a consistent basis. And I think Sharon, she asked me about she was one of the winners of my audiobook. She's been like consistently winning audiobooks, but you haven't selected one this month. The clock is ticking, so get that selection into me. Just wanted to say, on a sad note, one person that is constantly engaging, I think he passed away. It's like unbelievable, the message that I got yesterday, and I said, I don't know. I was kind of in disbelief that it was just Sunday I saw him posting, and it was just a week ago that I sent him, he wanted Napoleon Hill's book, an old school book, and I sent it to him. So I just want to yes, I do want a magnetic bookmark to share it. But I just want to send out my condolences to the family. If it's true, he was a great guy, always giving, and a coach. He was a business coach, and it's interesting how you just meet people online that are just so great, and you build the relationships with them. And you're not okay. I've never met them in person. But we've been on Zooms together. Yeah. We did interviews together. We've talked. He sent work my way and vice versa. Man, I think it's just sad to lose someone in the community.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
How does one transition out of that?
Oh man, it's tough. It's tough.
But Sharon wants a magnetic bookmark, huh?
We'll get you one, girl. We'll get you one.
We'll get you magnetic bookmarks.
Well, let's talk about what is happening next week, because when we wrap up one story, it just means it's the beginning of the next one. So coming up next week, we have So Good They Can't Ignore You. One and only Mr. Cal Newport. So if you are into productivity, you might already know Cal Newport from his book Deep Work, which is fantastic. But this time we are going to read about, why skills trump passion in the quest for work you love. And I love this because so many of us who have started our businesses and run our businesses online, whether we're solopreneurs or we work with our partner or we work where we have a whole team of people, who knows? But we've probably made this change in our lives because we want to work and do work that we love. We want to see people have a change in their life, whether it's more revenue in their business or more understanding for parents who have children with specialized education plans. Whatever it is, you're probably driven by passion. So I'm excited to have that mindset stepping in to our book for next week. So make sure you get a copy. They're available on Amazon. And yes, this is Lefty approved. The text is large and it is easy to read.
If you sound like I'm a senior.
No, I'm just saying.
Large font.
There is a difference. This book was rather dense. And we all know that Lefty doesn't like when there's more than one column of text on a page. So Lefty approved.
You're never going to live that down, Lefty.
Lefty approved. That's okay. I'll take it. Lefty approved. We'll just make like stamps, like bam, Lefty approved. We should make like a visual for that, where it's like a stamp comes up on the end of the show.
Yep.
BBBC approved. Bam.
Boom.
That's funny. That is funny.
I think that this, if you were looking for a book to follow along with us, this is going to be the best one right here. Well, this is going to be a good opportunity. Just the title alone lets you know that we're going to be diving deep into getting your message out there, I think. And you already talked about a controversial topic when you said that skill trumps passion. Does it?
Well, I'm the obviously super passionate kind of entrepreneur. I'm ready for a slap in the face next week because rule number 1 is don't follow your passion.
Whoa.
So
and you know what the funny thing is?
Wow.
And this, the reason why this is a good follow-up like to Wired for Story is because what did we learn from Wired for Story in like the first few pages is that you want to give the reader the entire book in the first sentence. And that's exactly what the title of this next book is. They gave us the entire story in the first sentence, which is the title, So Good They Can't Ignore You. If there's any takeaway, it's like just take that away from the title. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Excited.
My copy was supposed to be here yesterday. And I almost never have a late Amazon delivery, but yeah, it's late.
Oh, well, hopefully it will arrive soon.
Like
so next week, we're going to dive into chapter 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go rule number 1. Don't follow your passion. I might have feelings about this.
I know, right? I know.
See.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Skill trumps passion. I'd like to see what he says about that.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about this just quickly before we go,
you got 1 minute.
1 minute. I mean, have you ever been in a business meeting where you're about to close a client and you go, "But Mr. Client, you have to hire me because I'm just so passionate." No one has ever gotten a job from just being so passionate. So I get it, but I'd love to see what Cal says about it. And I want to see if I'm right. I want to see if like my thought process on that is correct.
So Lefty, you were the one who recommended this book this month. So why did you pick it? Why did this spark your interest?
Yes, Lefty, why?
Okay, so full transparent, I have not read the book yet. But
good.
Yeah,
good, because it sounds like you have.
No. I have not read the book yet. It was a book that came up as an Amazon recommendation based on certain books that I was purchasing, not only previously, but ones that I had in my cart and also ones that I was picking up for book club. And it just, I don't even know like if it came up, or if it was like just the big bright orange that caught my attention. And then I read the title and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. But yeah, it just somehow popped up and I was like, I think the team will like this because I feel like I'm gonna like this. And
Nice.
look at that, we're here today. but yeah, no,
Fantastic.
typically I haven't. Typically the what I choose I haven't read yet because I want to be just as surprised as everybody else when we're reading together.
Amazing. Amazing. So, my friends, get your copies. Get ready for next week. We're going to read The First Secret. Don't follow your passion, which is ridiculous in my brain. So, we'll see. We'll see. I have feelings, but we can put those aside. Get your copies. We'll see you same bat time, same bat channel, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every Thursday morning. Come hang out with your favorite book clubbers. Bring your favorite warm beverage. Scan the QR code and get access to all of the previous episodes in our Business Building Book Club playlist. And also, while you're at it, why not join us over in the Visibility Hackers Facebook community where you can also drop your recommendations for books. We're getting our book list ready for 2024 already because, oh my goodness, the recommendations we've been getting are off the charts. So we're putting those together. Yeah. And
hey, you know what? Sharon has written a couple of books. The one, Sharon, I think, well, I know what she's got a book that I thought was pretty interesting that we might, I don't know if it's like a coffee table type of book, but I know it's called Selfieography.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds
I love
fun.
it. I love that. Oh my goodness. Goodness.
I'm throwing Sharon, the Sharon Jones. Sharon Jones, her nickname is Shaz. She goes by Shaz.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm throwing a little shout out there for her, and maybe she could send us all a copy.
I would love
awesome.
A book about selfies. That sounds great.
I got into this as a photographer first, so I mean, I'm all for it.
All right, team. We will see y'all same bat time, same bat channel. Come hang out with us. Subscribe to all of our channels, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.